Hi, today I want to talk to you again, a take two on giving up cow's milk, dairy milk. Probably, I don't think I'd ever give up the cheese, the vintage cheese. I love it. And there's no problem with causing any kerfuffle or waves in dairy. People aren't going to give up dairy immediately, cow's milk immediately. There are so many different types, so many different availabilities in the dairy fridge for milk, cow's milk. And there's so much ambiguity about the integrity of cow's milk and etc. And not just the integrity, but the product that's there that has integrity as well. And vegans won't go near it, anything dairy. So I'm not going to upset any vegans, and I don't think I'm going to upset too many vegetarians either, for when the cow gets old, etc. And for when dairy farms are bought out. Imagine if an almond farm that makes almond milk got bought out. No animals harmed there. And if a coconut farm was to be bought out and bulldozed, etc., no harm to animals there. There's a million different things I could do to support giving up cow's dairy milk. But let me tell you this. The most important thing that happened was giving up dairy, cow's milk. I lost about 7 kilos in 2 weeks. Didn't even get up off the lounge, so to speak. Of course I did, but I mean, I didn't go on exercise or anything else. Just giving up cow's dairy milk, 7 kilos. Let me say, the easiest 7 kilos I've ever given up. So what happened was the process of this. I actually realised after I'd given up the cow's milk, after I'd gotten over the side effects, what I said was withdrawal for about 2 or 3 months of having given up cow's milk. So my brain was saying I don't need it anymore. And once my brain started saying I definitely won't go near cow's milk ever again, or as least as possible, or you don't have to be too pedantic about it, then my brain started making statements and other things that anyhow, I hope you understand what I'm implying by that. And so it was like this, that I suddenly realised, after having gotten over the withdrawal symptoms of giving up cow's milk, I suddenly realised that I didn't have 7 stomachs to process the cow's milk. Digestion. I only had 1 stomach which could try to metabolize cow's milk, and 1 stomach to digest cow's milk. And I didn't have 7 stomachs to process the digestion of cow's milk. It's not about, I mean, in the early stages of a calf, I think for probably 3 or 4, maybe 6 months, they drink cow's milk, the mother's cow's milk. And so the connotation also comes to mind, the social connotation of it is mother's milk. You know, that comes from it's a blend of the connotation of cows as calves drinking milk and human mothers supplying milk. So I didn't have 7 stomachs to process the milk, and that's what it takes to process the milk and metabolize it into that little calf that bucks around the paddocks. Let's face it, calves don't do a great deal of strenuous exercise. They're just plodding along. That's another pointer I've just thought of right now. And so what also happened was that when I show you this, I'm a lot more active now due to drinking what I replaced cow's milk with, and I'll tell you what that is soon. This is a coffee that I'm really enjoying on the new stuff. So compared to the old days when I really had some weight on, I was just sitting around on the couch, so to speak, with a bit of weight on. And I was drinking quite a large amount of milk, 2, 2 or 3 litres a day. And I think that was the thing that was I really do think it was the thing that was keeping me down. My stomach's disappearing gradually more and more. There's more and more muscle now from the stuff that I am drinking instead of. And so let me get to that now, what it was. I first of all considered giving up. When I giving up dairy milk, I started drinking almond milk, and then I started looking at the percentages in the carton. I was drinking the cheapest one, which still made it a little bit more expensive than cow's milk, but I felt driven that drinking almond milk was a better thing and worthwhile, and it was. And so I bought the cheapest, unsweetened, you don't want added sugar, etc., in almond milk. And so I looked at the percentages, 8% of, I think it said almond products. I'm not quite sure, but it said almond something or other, 8%. I liked the idea of unsweetened because I think it said it was about 0.7% sugar. I might not be quite right about that. I haven't got an almond milk carton around. But it certainly said that it didn't have added sugar, and it was lower in fat. Now that brings me to the point that I want to make, that I also realised just this morning or yesterday about cow's milk, and it's that they say that cow's milk has 4% fat, or light milk has 2% fat, but it's not the fat that is the drama to process. It's the actual milk itself. Yeah. So you're not just looking at processing or digesting, because not processing because we don't have 7 stomachs, of digesting or metabolizing cow's milk, 4% fat in cow's milk or 2% fat in cow's milk. You're looking at digesting the entire content, let's call it the materials of cow's milk. I'm not going to use the word product and imply that there's other additives. I'm talking about actual cow's milk, plus cow's milk being hard to digest, plus the 4% fat of dairy also being harder to digest. So my stomach just fell away in the first week. I couldn't believe it. I could literally see each day my stomach shrinking, and I was my body was metabolizing the fat that's there and turning it into brain power or whatever, or wherever the fats go when you metabolize them. They are a good storage of energy. So I gave up cow's milk, got onto almond milk, unsweetened, cheapest one, and 8% almond product, or 8% almond. And maybe it's grinded into a fine powder or something to make the milk. And 0.7%, I think it said, fat, but that will be a different fat than dairy fat. And so what happened was I decided that 8% wasn't good enough, and I couldn't make almond milk. And let me tell you that that was the main thing, that I couldn't produce almond milk myself at a higher percentage. And I was also still holding quite a lot of weight, fat, around my stomach. So the next thing I did was I suddenly woke up one morning, or tinkering away during the day, I realised that coconut, all of coconut, the flesh, the milk, etc., is very, very good for you. I started realising that coconut products are in the hardware stores in a number of areas. The husk, they grind up and it makes an excellent replacement for soils in your garden. And when it absorbs water, it swells up even more. You can buy a block of compressed coconut husk, and it expands. Some lady said to me, I haven't done it yet, but she said it expands to the size of the content of a wheelbarrow. My guess is a small garden wheelbarrow. I don't know. And it's only a 6-inch block, 8-inch block. So you can also buy it in the bags, which is where I saw it, where the children were playing with it at one of the hardware stores, Bunnings. And it looked like to me, as they were spading it out, children playing with it, doing potting plants, it looked like a really good potting soil. So high in nutrients. And so I asked where it was in the hardware store, and they said that it's in the aisle inside the store. And I realised that it wasn't outside with all the topsoils. So I realised that the coconut husk is full of bacteria, because if they get wet in the bag, it's going to produce mold. So they need to keep it dry, not like potting mixes that are outside that get wet and etc. And it doesn't matter if a bit of water goes into it. So that looked like a great product to me. Plus, I started seeing the coconut husk ground into a powder, and it was being glued together and created into some sort of particle board and etc. Really, really good product. Really good product. Better than MDF. MDF is a bit dangerous to you because of the glues, and I'm sure it would have been the same glues in the coconut product. And also they could supplement coconut product with MDF particle board. So a really, really good thing. And now what happened was I started drinking coconut milk in the cartons. And then I looked at the percentages of coconut milk, and it was around 8%. Yeah, it really was. Maybe I got those percentages mixed up, but it might be that they were both obscurely the same percentage content. But anyway, I looked at coconut. It was definitely 8%. And I thought to myself, it said 8% coconut milk cream, I think it said, or coconut milk. And so what I thought was, I got a can of coconut cream in the pantry, and I kept it in the pantry because coconut cream to drink straight, 100%, is a very good laxative. So I started contemplating coconut milk even more, and it has, if you look at it, coconut milk, coconut cream, it has an oily, like oil floating in it, which is that good, I think, laxative. Coconut is supposed to be very, very good for your heart function. Obviously, because you shed fats, you shed the fat, and maybe coconut milk, coconut cream, or etc., coconut oil, maybe that helps you to metabolize fats on your body. I'm not sure, but let me tell you something further. So I decided that looking at the can, and in the pantry I could keep half a dozen cans of coconut cream, even in the car, etc. Coconut is used to the hot sun. It won't grow below the Tropic of Capricorn here in Australia. So I looked into coconut cream as to the percentage in the can, and one can that I looked at was about 87 or 90% coconut cream. And so if I added the 400ml content, and coconut cream, coconut milk is all of it in every, no matter where you shop, is in a 400ml can. If I was to want to make it at, let's say, 25%, then I would 400ml times by 4 is 1600ml. So I would add one full can to 1200ml of water and get 1600ml of coconut milk at 25%. So add another the same amount again. Add another 1600ml of water, and you've got 12.5% coconut milk, and 12.5% coconut milk, 13% or whatever it was the right constituent. So of late, I've been drinking about 25% coconut cream, which is about the 400ml can and about 1500ml of water, and it fills a, you're not going to believe it, it fills a just for the funny, humorous value, I've been putting it into a white container that's actually laundry liquid in the fridge, and so this container, 200ml, and 400ml of water, and fill it up almost to the top with water from the tap, and you've got 12.5, 13.5% of coconut milk, and it's a good drink. It took about a week to get used to coconut milk in my coffee. That coconut cream turned into milk in my coffee at that percentage. But and I should crunch the numbers on the actual percentage. I might have gotten them wrong, but it's somewhere around about there. Yeah, 400ml, 1600ml plus, so 1600ml plus 400ml, that's 5. Yeah, that's 20%. Yeah, 20% it's working out to be that I'm drinking. And remember, in the non-sweetened coconut milk in the grocery store was 8%, and it was a good brew. But this is a lot thicker. I'm definitely not holding any more weight. It's still dropping off me, and I'm actually losing it off my chest and etc., my pecs. And now that I'm saying it to you as sort of a sounding board, I'm going to try and add more water and bring it back a bit. So it is actually very sweet. I'm telling you, unsweetened, it is actually very sweet. So I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to bring it back to around about 12%. And that should start to drop a bit more fat off me again. But you've got to remember that cold turkey on anything that you are addicted to, and it can be anything. It can be cow's milk that you're addicted to. I've proven that in the last couple of months, believe me. Cold turkey on anything isn't good. So I'm going to pull it back, as I said, to about 12%, 12.5% coconut milk, and that should be a good brew. I hope I've covered all things right now, and well, that's your lot for the day. Hope you have a good day, folks. Here we are. What's he saying? 20 minutes. 20. Yep, it's the same amount of time. Have a great day, folks. From Mick Cox, Rainbow Guy, the Holy Grail of Science, and rainbows only run north to south, and all the other facts. Check out the video on my channel at Rainbows Are Magnetic. Check out my video on volcanoes are magnetic. Check out the video on tornadoes and cyclones are magnetic, caused by the lines that you see on the front cover on the front cover of the Holy Grail of Science book. So anyway, have a great day, folks. Blessings. Bye.